Hello everyone and welcome to our news and notes video for the week. We're going to be, from this point on, as far as I can tell, we're going to be doing this on Wednesday instead of Tuesday. Try and get things kind of more in the middle of the week. And since I do pre-record these videos the evening before you see it, it makes more sense for me to post these on Wednesday as opposed to Tuesday, especially when we get into the season. A lot of news happens on Monday and Tuesday. Want to include that, so that's the plan moving forward. So anyway, closing things out a little bit with talking about Orca Wiesblatt. It's beyond words. It's beyond any kind of things that you can aptly say. Nobody expects something like this to happen. It's very sad. There is, as far as I understand, if I have this right, there is a GoFundMe page that goes, it's kind of linked to the Medicine Hat Tigers Facebook page. There should be something posted there for a GoFundMe for the Wiesblatt family. If you are familiar with the Wiesblatt story, quite phenomenal. There's a couple of YouTube videos, including one that the Athens broadcaster Mateen Rad did. He did an interview with Orca last year. Really fascinating story. Kind of a very moving story. There's a couple other YouTube videos out there as well, as far as everything the Wiesblatt family has had to go through. In spite of the fact that you do have younger brother Ozzy and Oasis playing in the national organization, these guys aren't made of money, and a funeral is not cheap. Plus, the funds that are going to be needed for the family in the future. That's what the GoFundMe is for. So check that out. And also check out the videos telling the Wiesblatt story, talking about Orca and his journey to getting his break with Allen, the Allen Americans, last just a week and a half ago. So definitely we want to continue to keep the Wiesblatt family in our thoughts and prayers. And this very undescribable thing to be witnessing. So I apologize for my lack of eloquence here, but yeah, it's hockey is family, and all of us in the Fed. We may have different jerseys on, but we're all family, and so this is a big loss. I do want to move on to some good things that happen through the week. I'm not to gloss over this at all, but again, please keep the Wiesblatts in your thoughts and prayers. But do want to talk about some other things that have happened, some other developments in the league, good things. The first thing, it was announced today that defenseman Brody Thornton for the Columbus River Dragons is going to be working with the Auburn University Women's Hockey Club, kind of in a coaching type of role. So that's pretty cool. I am not really clear if he is employed by Auburn, or if this is just something that's kind of a volunteer arrangement. I don't know, but still it is pretty cool. So Thornton will be continuing to play with the River Dragons, but he is also during the week. He's going to be working with the ladies at Auburn, and so that's pretty cool. It's really good to see some players and other personnel in the FPHL that are getting opportunities and, kind of broadening their horizons. So it's really good to see. Speaking of horizons being broadened, for Indiana, yeah, Jack Hudak is now the head coach. Very much a surprise, but it's a good scenario, I think. Now, Hudak he took part in the free agent camp that Indiana had earlier this year. And my understanding is he was kind of helping to mentor the other goalies that were in camp. Has a good relationship with Lester Brown, who is going to be serving as player/assistant coach. This all comes about, if you didn't catch what I shared on Facebook, Kurt Walston, who had been hired as the head coach, just is not physically able to get to Indiana and be there and serve in the coaching duties. And so Indiana had to find a new situation. They have found it in Jack Hudak and Lester Brown. So congratulations to both you guys. Jack, it'll be very interesting to hear a little bit more of his story. He's gone from an MIHL goaltender to now a head coach in the Fed. So very, very interesting. All right, other players getting a shot, and this is really good. At the same time, I want to add a little, oh, by the way, onto this. But yeah, a trio of Blue Ridge players are going to be participating in ECHL camps, looking to earn a spot for the ECHL clubs. This isn't just a token tryout. This is the real deal. So you have Brendan Reller is going to be joining the Allen Americans for their camp. You have Devin Sanders. He's going to be with the Iowa Heartlanders. And then you have Dustin Perillet. He's going to be with Trois Rivières, or however you say it, because my French is non-existent. The reigning champions of the ECHL, the reigning Kelly Cup champions, Trois Rivières, Lions, Perillet will be joining them. So 3 players from Blue Ridge getting a shot. And it in one sense, it's a little sad to see, oh, well, we might not have them back this year. But this is what the players want. They want to advance. They want to play at the highest level possible. So this is a very good thing. This is a sign, though, of things to come over the next 3 weeks. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of other players from different Fed rosters that are going to be invited to camps in either the ECHL or the SP. So, and some of those players will at least initially stick. So there's going to be a domino effect. There's going to be a lot of players the first couple of weeks of the season that are going to be on inactive status on the Fed rosters as they try and compete for jobs in the SP or the Coast. So, and it's going to take a good 3 weeks for that all to iron out. So, whether you're Blue Ridge or Columbus or Port Huron or whoever, your roster is probably not going to be what you thought it would be the first couple of weeks, but that's okay. And in some cases, yes, players will be joining the teams here in the Fed later down the road. So every coach in the Fed knows the drill. Even the new ones, they know how this all works. So it's not a surprise. It's nothing like they're not in a situation where they're going, oh no, I'm losing such and such. What am I going to do now? It's all very much normal. Not normal for a Fed player to get a PTO with an NHL club. Yeah. So yeah, if you are living under a rock, or maybe you've been kind of out of touch the last week or so, yeah. So it is Braden Simmons-Fischer played a few games with the Prowlers last year, and he signed a PTO. His rights are held by Port Huron. He got invited to the Ottawa Senators camp. And so he has been playing in some of the prospects games. A lot of these players are going to not make NHL roster this year, but they could make the NHL down the line. They'll be playing in either like the AHL or ECHL this upcoming season. But Simmons-Fischer is part of Ottawa's squad. I believe he's played. I believe yesterday he played. It would have been his second prospects game that he's participated in. So, that's great. Why would Ottawa look at a Fed player? Well, when you're 6'8" and weigh 240 pounds, got a build like Zdeno Chara, teams are going to take notice. So, yeah, big defensive man, and I'm sure that Simmons-Fischer is going to do everything he can to make the most of this opportunity. So, congratulations to Simmons-Fischer on his time up in Ottawa, whether it's just for a short interim or if he sticks in the organization and is able to sign a contract with Ottawa, whether, like a two-way contract or something. This is awesome. This is incredible. This is what the FPHL is all about. And this is what we want to see. All right. So let's go through really quick some of the signings over the last few days. Athens, they signed defenseman Adam Oja. He is returning. Very steady, solid guy last year. Port Huron, they signed two. Tuesday, they signed Lucas Lackney, and that is huge for them. He was such a big offensive piece for them last year. They also signed forward Brett Morich out of Dubuque University, and which is D3. So, he'll be joining camp in the early part of October, looking to make the squad. Let's see. Baton Rouge, they signed Narek Alexanian. He will be coming back. They also signed forward Zachary Bridges, who comes from the University of Concordia, Wisconsin. Blue Ridge, they made a trade. They traded with the PD Ice Cats for goaltender Chris Kerr. So Kerr now coming to Blue Ridge. That's in exchange for cash considerations. And there was a nice little write-up on the Blue Ridge's page as far as them talking about going after trying to get Kerr on their roster. So yes, so I believe they have 4 goaltenders that will be heading in the camp. But they'll have a very lively competition, very young group of goaltenders. And I know a lot of people's first reaction is like, well, we don't have anybody with any experience. 2 years ago, that worked very, very well for the Binghamton Black Bears. They brought in 3 guys who had never played pro before and ended up winning the first of 2 championships. So I'd say, yeah, it works out. It's not the level that matters; it's the talent. So we'll see how Kerr and the others do in camp with the Bobcats. Indiana, they signed defenseman Ivan Panavanov, who played last year with the Venom, and Sal Safani, who is most notably well known from playing in the APHL with the Hudson Valley Vipers and the Toledo Mobsters. And in Columbus, they made a pretty big signing, getting Tyler Roy back in the red and teal. Roy had joined the Dragons for a few games 2 seasons ago, got called up to Roanoke, and spent the last 2 years there. So he is back. He will be forming the tandem, presumably with Trevor Babin, but of course, Connor Green is also there as well. So 3 experienced goaltenders in Columbus's camp. All right, so that is it. Final thing to mention: Friday evening, sometime, I don't know exactly when. It depends on how my day goes. I will be posting the last interview that I did. I talked to Charlie Pens Jr. this last weekend. He, of course, is the coach and GM / president of hockey operations for the Biloxi Breakers. Had a chance to catch up with him, talk with him, interview him. So check that out. That is going to be Friday evening, or you can watch it Saturday morning. So that is the next video that we'll have here on the Fed League Flash. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. If you haven't done so already, please hit like. Also, make sure you are following me on Facebook, as I post news as it happens there, and then we talk about it here. All right, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it, and we will catch you again Friday night with the interview with Charlie Pens Jr. All right, everyone, I'm the Fed League Flash, Gary Ryan. We'll talk to you soon.